So in this video, we'll try to simplify rational expressions. So one easy way to look at this is to remember these values. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square, 9 square, 10 square. And you can even go ahead. So these are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. So this will help you uh, learn a few things. Then if you take any variable like a square, a to the exponent 4, and then a to the exponent 6, a to the exponent 8, and so on and so forth. These things can even help you a lot. Remember, whenever you have a square root, this just implies that the exponent of x is a half. Similarly, if you have a cube root, that implies the exponent is a third, 1/3, and so on and so forth. So if you have the nth root of x, that just shows that it's 1 over n. So keep this information in mind. It might be helpful with regards to solving a few questions. Okay, so let's use this Excel A4 to solve this question. So as I stated earlier in the first part of the video, if you know these values, these will help you get to your number more quickly. So the idea is to break something in terms of these numbers, because if you take the square root of one of these numbers, you can easily get to the other part, which is not part of the which is not solvable as a square root. So for example, I'll give you a hint. 150. Now which number could you use from this list right here to be part of one of the factors of 150? So 25. And how many times 25 makes 150? 6 times. So now if I break this way, square root of 25 times square root of 6, what's the square root of 25? That's 5. What's the square root of 6? It's not a whole number, or it's not it's not a whole number. So therefore we leave it as square root of 6. Let's plug this in. 5 square root 6, and we get our answer. So here we have the square root of 54. Sorry. A exponent 4. So when I break 54, what would that be? So 54 can be written as 9 times 6, a exponent 4. So the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of a exponent 4 is just dividing the exponent by 2. And the square root of 6 is not solvable. So let's write this as 3a squared times exponent, square root of 6. So if you were to use this notation, you'll notice that it will solve. So let's put this in. So if you wrote it this way, remember to bring the a square in the front. Otherwise, IXL marks it wrong. So just be careful with how you're presenting your answer. So that works. Now let's take this case where we've got to find the square root of 490. This should be fairly easy. We can write 49 times 10. The square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of 10 is square root 10. So let's plug that in. Let's try this one really quick. 24 p squared. And remember to use the numbers in this list that are stated up here, right here, because these will get you. Try to use a number from here. So 24 can be broken as 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 4 times 6. So we'll use 4 times 6 because I can easily find the square root of 4. So the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of p squared is just divide that by 2. So you'll get 2p. And the square root of 6 remains as it is. So let's put that in. 2p times square root 6. And that works. So good luck. What about something like with the 7, which doesn't work with the square root, or it's not an even number? So 140 can be written as, let's see how 140 can be written as 2 times 70, 4 times 35. Let's write it that way. And w exponent 7 can be written as w7 over 2. 7 over 2 becomes 3.5. So this part can also be broken down this way, 3.5. So 3 whole parts of it and 1/2 of it. So this would be in the square root, this part. Again, this is a little advanced exercise. Cube and square root of w. So if we merge things, I would write it this way, 2w cube and then the square root of 35 and w. So let's put that, and I think Excel will let you enter it this way. Let's just see. There. That works. And then when you have something like this, you can make a box. Remember that? Just make a box for this. This is similar to that idea. So you've got 2 parentheses. Make a box. 5 square root 3, 8, negative square root 5. So 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times square root 3 is 8 square root 3. 5 times negative 5 is negative 5 times square root 5. And then 8 times negative square root 5 times negative of square root 3 is negative of square root 15. So if we were to bring all of this together, we would have 40 plus 8 square root 3 and then minus 5 square root 5 and minus of square root 15. So this is what we would get. This can't be simplified further. Yeah, we can't simplify this any further. Oops, that just went off. Something with the update. But that's how you would do it. If you see parentheses and you see a square, just solve it that way. All right, good luck, guys.